Okay, so ready to dive in. Today we're tackling deepfakes.
Yeah.
Those videos where it looks like someone is doing or saying something they never actually
Yeah.
did.
Right.
And we're looking at this article by 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗃 called "Deepfakes on the Rise: Why We Need Stronger Laws."
Mm-hmm.
And the more I read about this, the more I realize how much this affects all of us,
Yeah,
really.
absolutely.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Could a deepfake totally derail your next big project? It's not, totally out there.
It's closer than you think, and what's really striking is just how easy it's become to get your hands on this technology.
Right.
The article even mentions how, anyone with internet access could potentially make a deepfake. It's not just Hollywood studios or tech giants anymore.
Yeah, and the article even mentions Chinese tech companies are making these tools even easier to use.
Exactly.
And then there's that example with Channel 4 and the deepfake of Scarlett Johansson. I mean, if they can do it with a celebrity, what's to stop someone from doing that with like a CEO?
Yeah.
Or a project leader, right?
Exactly. And then we get into some really tricky legal questions.
Yeah.
Because existing laws, as the article points out, they're not keeping up.
They're not equipped to handle this.
They're just not equipped to handle this, yeah.
So how are these laws trying to handle this right now?
Yeah.
What happens if someone creates a deepfake and it's about you or your company?
Oh man.
To spread like misinformation. Do you have any legal options?
It's a gray area right now, legally speaking. It is.
Yeah.
Traditional defamation laws, they often rely on proving intent, like proving that someone meant to harm you, which with deep fakes is really, really tough to do.
Yeah, how do you even prove it's not real?
Exactly. Imagine there's a deep fake video going around and it shows you saying something completely offensive or unprofessional.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. How do you prove it's not you? How do you fix, your reputation after that?
That's terrifying. And it's not just about individuals here, but what about organizations? How does this affect them?
Oh, absolutely. Organizations are just as vulnerable,
Yeah.
I mean, think about the impact on businesses and projects.
Right.
A deep fake that's released at just the right time could completely sabotage a product launch. It could mess with stock prices or even, derail a political campaign.
Wow.
It has the power to really destroy trust in a person or an entire organization.
Yeah, it makes you think about that whole problem of misinformation, which is already a huge issue. And deepfakes they just make it worse.
Oh, for sure.
They make it even harder to figure out what's true and what's not.
Exactly. Deepfakes, they chip away at our trust. They make it harder to make smart decisions based on good information.
Right.
Think about it in terms of your own projects, If you can't even be sure if a video or an audio recording is the real deal, how can you manage risks? How can you make the right call? It's tough.
So what do we do? I mean, what can we actually do to protect ourselves in this world where seeing isn't believing anymore?
Well, the article really stresses that we need to tackle this on several fronts.
Okay.
First off, education.
Right.
We've got to educate ourselves and our teams about how dangerous deep fakes can be, how to spot them, and how to double check information. There are some great resources out there, like websites like Snopes and PolitiFact. They're really good for fact checking, and there are even online courses about media literacy that can help you learn to be more critical.
Yeah, I can see that. But what about technology? Is there anything being developed that can actually help us detect these deepfakes?
Yeah, actually, there are some pretty promising things happening with deepfake detection technology. Researchers are working on algorithms that can look at videos and audio and pick up on those little inconsistencies that might give away a fake.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it's kind of like an arms race because deepfake technology itself is always getting better, always evolving.
Right. So it sounds like staying informed and being careful about what we believe, that's key.
Absolutely.
But is there anything else we can do, like on a bigger scale?
Well, the article, it really pushes for tougher laws, for regulations that specifically address using deepfakes for bad stuff.
Okay.
You know, we need policymakers to step up and create a legal framework that discourages people from creating and spreading these harmful deepfakes while still, you know, protecting free speech.
Yeah, but wouldn't stricter law, wouldn't that potentially like stifle innovation in AI? It seems like a tough balance to strike.
It is a tricky balance for sure, but it's one we got to work towards. We need to support responsible AI development, you know, but also protect against its potential for harm.
Right.
And that brings us to probably the most important part of all of this, ethics.
I was just thinking about that, you know.
Yeah.
If we're going to navigate this new world, we need more than just, you know, technical solutions. We need some solid ethical guidelines to guide how AI is developed and used just overall.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
You know, developers, researchers, everyone involved in AI needs to be thinking about the potential consequences of what they're creating. We've got to prioritize ethical AI development and be advocates for using these powerful technologies responsibly.
So we've talked about a lot today, from the rise of deep fakes and all the legal stuff to how this impacts trust and the need for education and ethical AI.
Right, to plot.
But here's the question that's really sticking with me. If seeing isn't believing anymore, what new skills do we need to navigate this world full of deepfakes?
That's the question, isn't it? I think we need to become more critical thinkers, more careful about the information we consume.
Yeah.
We need to be able to verify what we see and hear, to question where information is coming from, and to really think critically about what we're seeing online.
That's a challenge.
It is.
But I think it's one we can handle.
I think so too.
By understanding the risks, you know, being proactive and advocating for responsible AI development. I think we can reduce the potential harm of deepfakes, you know, while still taking advantage of all the incredible good that AI can do.
It's a team effort, you know, and it starts with each and every one of us.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm curious, what steps are you going to take to navigate this new world of deepfakes? Think about it.
Yeah, think about it.
It's worth considering.
It is.
Okay. Well, that's it for today. Until next time.
Yeah.